All right, got sound, microphone, not in the frame this time. Okay. All right, let's see here. Let me get a couple of things going on this side. All right, good afternoon. Happy Monday. I am back to working on the CircuitPython text editor, or kind of like Cyberdeck type device, little word processing unit. And I'll be doing some of that and working on the guide as well. All right. Here we go. So let's see, where are we at here? So I have got some different code actually running on it right now because I was testing some other stuff to make issues earlier today, but we have code Cyberdeck. We could grab this and drop that back to code. Do I want to keep this one separate? I'll probably take my hoodie off. I don't know why I don't take it. Start. This one, find all. We have find all. Really different, I guess. It's not really a find all. I was trying to do this detached kernel. It didn't end up being something I need, honestly, though. So I think we can just get rid of it, actually. In which case we can take Cyberdeck code to here. I actually have the camera set up yet, so we'll turn that on. Fresh twice. All right. All right, and then I think it's probably just doesn't run right now because I have, well, right now it's in REPL if this is to be believed, but also I have in BootPy auto reload false, so it won't be doing that. I actually also have this, which we want to get rid of. I tried toggling this pin the other day to see if it would basically like unplug and replug the USB device, and does not do that, or doesn't let you initialize it in order to try to do that, I guess. So I did move that over to BootPy. I think, and just we should reset button on that one. Oops. Maybe some of... Okay. And is the keyboard? Yes, it is. Okay, so what are some things that I would say would be kind of nice to haves? A new file thing would be kind of a nice to have, honestly. I have no idea if I can actually implement that. What if we just had a program? File. I'd pick file. It says options sorted, which is G for G in list. G not in always, and stir, and not starts with dot. So one thing I should probably try with is with an SD card files. Looks like this would skip directories, so I think I don't think it's gonna let you navigate into a directory. Else new for notes. New. Is new at the end? Hold on, is there already a new? I don't have new. Yeah, that's a good thing. I was gonna say we should make sure it doesn't crash if I try to go past the end. What's where did this new come from? Notes equals none if exists file name else new else exists. None if exists file name. So notes are none. Notes is a list which gets none inside of it if the file exists. But if the file doesn't exist, then it gets new. And it does that for each file in the list, which is called options, which is basically all the files except for the directories and the ones that start with dots. And then I actually changed the order to put the always at the end. Okay. It's not really about new. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I guess if the file doesn't exist, I don't know how you would get to here if the file doesn't exist. Because it's looping through only things in lister. I don't know. Ew. It would be nice to be able to give them the option to create a new file, though. Like if we could get it working, maybe Control N, new file. And then it would ask you for a name. I was gonna say, how does it listen for Control C? But it really doesn't. It's just Control C is always. But so it's enter right here. So is there a Control N as an ASCII code? ASCII chart? This isn't really the one that helps the right, because this doesn't say like Control C or whatever. I should save this bigger copy of it. Is there really like not a bigger one? Is Control N, Shift Out, X, 0E. It's technically Shift Out. I have no idea what that is, but Control N I feel like we could use. Elif. I don't know how to check for the... Because it's a string, though. We need to... Here it as a hex. /x. Right. /x, it was 0E. Control N. But print is not overridden. Let's try that. All right, I don't have the other connection open. Like, if that works, it's gonna print to here, I think. Okay, so N for new. So let's try it on the keyboard itself, the USB host one. Control N. Done running. USB CDC not defined. Name USB CDC is not defined. I didn't import it. I guess that's fair. Nice. Cool. Okay, so we can get a control N by doing that. So we want to, I'm gonna make a new function just in here to start with, def new file. It's not gonna have anything when you call it. It's gonna input new file name. New file name equals. And then when you give it that, it's gonna f equals open new file name. Right. Well, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves yet. If os.exists, what was it? File exists? How is it? That one checking if they exist. OS, interesting. Okay, we have OS exists. OS exists. New file name. So if we want not, if not that, then this, or I don't know. I guess I'm trying to change my pattern around more so to where I check for this and then like return early. Print. Oh, but this input print. I don't know if input is gonna work right. And I do know that this print is not gonna work right, but whatever. Let's just do it here for now. Print. Exists invalid, so file already exists. Error, file already exists. Okay. And then return so that it doesn't do anything else. And then f equals, okay, so that one's open, the new file, writable. I don't even really need to write anything into it, I don't think. Just close. I don't know if you, maybe we do, I don't know. I'm just gonna write like empty string. And then that's gonna return, and then new file. So then after that, it should just loop back around. I don't know if it's gonna like, we might need to get it to refresh or something. But let's see like if that even gets us anywhere near what we're trying to do. Control N. So it says new file name. It's just kind of randomly at the top. I'm gonna put bb underscore test dot txt. Enter. error read-only file system. Right. Well, not right, read-only, but, you know. That's because I didn't hold the button when I was booting up. Read-only. Interesting. I wonder when this could fail. I'm gonna move this to util. And import it from there. And, is there a key? Is there a hotkey to unfold code? PyCharm unfold code hotkey. Expand. Control. Shift. I don't really want to do all either. I want to do a specific one that I'm in. Control numpad plus minus. Numpad plus minus is just out already for me. I'm not going to use it if it needs the numpad, because my numpad is like part of my keyboard, not its own thing. Gotta press a modifier to get to it. What is the difference between these? Oh, okay, shift. Okay, control. Plus and minus. It says numpad. It doesn't work. So it would have to be like keypad and control this. It still doesn't work. I moved it to something else, then forgot it. Should it be doing this dot? Okay, so then let's say when you press Control in, it just won't work if you are in read-only. So if not read-only. You don't really need that. Then we call new file. File name, OS, file already exists, okay. Okay, save that. And we restart, but we hold the read-only button while we do it. Reset, read-only button is pressed. Seems like it crashed somewhere. Reload is off. Module name util. Awesome. Till. Okay, so yeah, I guess the dot is pretty necessary. We need from dot import util dot util import read only. All right, sorry. Let me save. Why are there changes? Okay, we need to restart. We need to restart in regular mode because the util was broken anyway, I guess. Right, that's the change. This one's gonna be broken too. I guess I should run it like this and see if it can work. Like even import. No. It's good then, I guess. Guess we could this and then util.read only, but Alright, does that one work? Yeah. Sort of. Gets to there at least. Okay, so let's try rebooting it with write mode. I have to figure out, I don't know how long you need to hold it for write mode, really. Control N. New file name, bb underscore test. txt. Enter. So I don't have any like feedback if it was successful, I don't think. Ideally, we'd want it to refresh or something. I don't know if the rest of it's just going to be working either. Right, arrow at this point. So arrow does this now. So if I just like, let's say I go into this file, AA3, it renders that, and then we just Control C. Oh, it crashed. When did it crash? Read only is not defined. Yeah. Why is it not red? Why is it not red over here though? I don't know. Can't save it because it's in, yeah, it's really difficult to work on code when you can't save it. Flopping back and forth does make this kind of project a bit of a challenge. That it says it's not edited anymore, but it is still edited, right? Like read only is, yeah, util read only is on both of those. To like fake it, get it to star itself, and then save it. Alright, so I saved. We can try to reboot again in writable. Roll in. Oh, it's there. It worked. The last one is there, BB test. So that one got created. So I don't have an AA5. This time I'm going to make an AA underscore 5 dot txt enter. So that works, but we don't get any like feedback when it's done. What if we made it so that you like, we made it so it basically pretends like you selected the new file. Return options IDX. So we return the name of the new file. which we could also return from this. How's it going, Johnny? New file name, and then we could catch it here, new file name, and then we can return. Oh, we could just return. Oh, wait, we can. Oh, this returns none, though. If, so we could say if new file name is not none, we can return new file name. And then that looks like it should open up that file for editing. Can't save it though because it's in read-only, so we reboot without holding the extra button. We press close. This closes all of our files, which is not exactly what I wanted to happen. That stuff in my history? Nice. Thank you, PyCharm. Save it. Okay, now we reboot again with the button press this time. All right. Is there a way to like have a countdown for an input? I don't think you can, right? Like once you have an input, it's just gonna wait until the user press enters. I wish you could have a countdown. Like, when you boot a computer, sometimes it could be like, like press enter in the next 3 seconds to, open up the boot launcher menu. That'd be cool if we could do that in BootPy, where I could add something in there that says you have 3 seconds to input just like an enter key. And if you do, then it changes a mode. In my case, writable versus readable. All right, so we have our new file there. That the new one does exist now, AA5. BB test also does as well. But this time we can try Control-N, new file name, BB underscore, I'm just going to say 4.text. Enter, and it returns it, which opens up the file, but it crashed. Index out of range. So I think probably that means the cursor is broken for files that are empty. Index out of range. I wish I could see the full stack trace. So it can't be from here though, because it's not printing that. Oh. I don't know where that print is coming from. Can't change it. All right, reset without the button. I'm not going to press close until it's done resetting. And I think the files will stay open in the editor, which is nice. Then I'm going to modify this deliberately and save it. And then I'm going to try relaunching it and then see if opening an empty file causes the same error. Yes, well, this is an error at least. And it seems to be indexed out of range. But it didn't print the number. It didn't print the number. We just added this. Why didn't it print this? Is that even printing? That's right, I did this here. I really wish I could see the full stack trace. So I'm just going to comment this out. I'm going to comment this out. I'm going to pull this back. I don't know why this is here. I don't think we need this. We're going to run this. Okay, index error, out of range, full stack trace in all of its glory, 215. Okay, so it's from before. That's why we didn't get that other stuff printed. I didn't know it was doing anything up here. 215, the cursor text. 00, which doesn't exist. Obviously. Okay. Alright, now we go and undo all that stuff we just did like this. I don't need that one, but I'll redo it at the end. All right, thank you. Yes, save this, and then we can just I guess we just try catch it. I mean, we could if, but space. Okay, yeah, and then, but now it hard crashes because I don't have the code. Because I didn't have the code to do this. So we reset. Should make an issue for that. All right, there we go. So now we can open a file that has no contents and it doesn't crash. So I crashed when I started writing. X out of range. I really want to be able to see the whole stack trace. This is is there any way to do that? Does that really not exist? Format exception and print exception. Okay, so opening the file is no problem, but as soon as I type something, then it crashes. Okay, that could be that could be worse. I'll take that. I'll take that. It's yeah, I'll take that. We can do even a little bit better if we that's a list, so if we do something like new line join, then we should get even better, I think. Nice. Okay, format exception. I gotta remember that. That's exactly what I want right there. Format exception. It throws me off because it doesn't say stack trace, I guess. But yeah, traceback.format exception. You give it the exception, you get your nice traceback, which for this program is really, really nice because that means we can catch the exception and do our cleanup code, which allows us not to hard fault. How's it going, Tyeth? Glad to see the new file exception handling. Nice. Yeah, this is a new one for me, but that's super handy. I'll definitely be using that again. Okay, so we should, yeah, okay, so we have our exception, right? Now we can go try to fix our problem. Editor insert line 70 is an index out of range, huh? X line 70 says what now? Current lines pop. So insert Lines pop. It can't pop because it doesn't have anything. Lines is empty, I guess. Pop row. Actually, this says pop row. Does that index out of range? Print length lines. Len. This. No, this. Print f string row, which is index. How many do we have and which one are we trying to pop? How's it going, DJ Devin? Good morning. Good afternoon for me, but I do have some coffee, so coffee cheers for that. Okay. B test. Now we write something. Crashes. 72 insert. So we got length of 0, row of 0. Trying to get current. So I think it should just be empty. I don't know why it's... I don't know why it's current equals empty. The line numbers are on still, and I think we need to turn those off because that didn't end up working. And then we're going to try that again because I think that the numbers were definitely messing up the new filing. There we go. Okay, so I can type some new stuff into this file. I can't save it because it's in read-only mode right now, so I'm just going to Control-C. That's going to take us back to the menu. I'm going to get us out of read-only mode by resetting. I should have chose a different pen that's not right in front of the reset button. Hold this, press this. Oh, it's ground, actually. I didn't choose that. Is there another ground? Well, there's two grounds right next to each other, but is there one on the other side? I guess not. Doesn't look like it. Okay, here we go. Let me go BB test. Go. Okay, There it is. We can save it with Control X. Boom. Okay, let me open it again to make sure it's actually edited. Nice, very good. Okay, let's get out of here. Control C. Okay, so new file. Control N. New file name. Let's say AB underscore 8 dot txt. Enter. Okay, new file, mostly empty. This is the new file. Period. Enter. Control X. Yes. Look at that. AB right there. Bam. AB8. You can always solder a pin to the pin header legs. Some have jump pads. The pin header legs. Like on the little plug over there. Oh wait, but that's battery. Maybe I could find a stemma. I could be using a stemma connector actually, I guess, and then just using SDA or SCL, even though I'm only using it for digital I/O. If read-only mode, maybe have an emergency echo file to serial option where it could be used to dump back to a PC. Yeah, definitely been there. How would we send it back though? Send it back through here? So like we just assume that they're gonna get this thing open, but I don't know if everyone's gonna use this with I mean, we need to include the boot pie with the project because we need this. Which means we could put this in it, and then we need, well, that goes together with this, but supervisor auto reload, that's more of a me thing than a this project thing. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel you. I have been, that's me right there, right? I've been there with Nano. You do the old Nano enginex.conf or whatever, you make your edits in there, you go Control X, you try to save it, and it's like, you did not do sudo, therefore you must do everything again from your memory. Just echo to serial. I have to start the serial monitor first. So yeah, let me see let's do that one thing at a time. So Control X pressed, but it says not. Okay, so I guess we could say Control X pressed, and then we could say if not read only, then we do this. Else, if we were in read-only, then let's basically do the same loop here. but that is print. Can't save it. Speaking, that's a very good point right there. Speaking of when your editor tells you you can't save your file. I believe that might be the most fitting of mishaps has ever existed on my bench, at least. Okay, so unable to, so we want to be in read-only mode, actually, so we should be able to just try this. I don't know if it's going to be running the latest one. I'm just going to restart using let me catch up. Read-only, okay, future wish list. Yeah. Okay, we'll see. I think this will do it pretty easily. I do have a future wish list thing in mind too, though, for what it's worth. Also, using a feather with stacking headers provides you with another set of pin headers to plug into. I guess my thing for future wish, though, is less important without the SD card. We'd have to make the SD card working for my other thing to matter very much, truthfully. Okay, so we want to make a change to a file, but we want to do it with, oops, we accidentally were in read-only mode. Changed this file. So we Control X. I'll open this. Control X. Yeah, boom. So I have some other printing stuff happening. We can go back and take that off. But it says here now, unable to save the file due to read-only mode. Maybe we could put the file name, I guess, would be good. And then it has the contents, and then it has this. Should we do a begin file contents? I guess this thing makes it stand out at the end. Let's do a begin file contents. I think we are ready to turn off some of those other prints, like this and that. Anything else? What is else there? 0, 1. What are those? I wish past him would have put labels on those. Cursor position, we could probably go without those, right? I don't think we need those. Begin with a file and a path in the message above. Yeah. Also, let me catch up here. Could see having 2 devices side by side for mobile development. That way, if you do something, it just breaks and the software can recover. Recovery mode goes back to the previous state, like a board undo. Begin with file path. Yeah, I'll try to put the file name. Board undo would be like Sublime. Discuss read, have to redo everything. Have more, sorry if you catch me just like staring out the window over here. I have more stuff to look at than usual. Some folks back there building a fence. Turns out they're like kind of right outside the window here, so I keep finding myself looking over at them. Last row, there it is. Okay, you can just delete that one. I'm gonna get rid of this. Line numbers didn't work. I don't necessarily think I'm gonna be able to make it work quick enough, especially since it was also breaking the new file thing. That being said, I would love to see folks build on top of this. Like, once it gets out there into the Learn Guide, that will mean it's in GitHub, which means it's eligible for pull requests and all kinds of stuff, right? So anybody who wants to add line numbers are control like mark setting, like control copy for mark set and all that stuff. I'd love to see that stuff get added, but I don't think I will be able to. I saved. We're not in. So we're in currently read-only mode. So what do we want to check next? I think we're ready to reboot again into writable mode. So let's hold this. Basically, we can test the full workflow here, right? Like creating a file, writing some stuff into it, and then we should be able to get all the way back to our list again, and then open the same file and see the contents. I don't know, this bit's a little bit weird. I don't know what's going on with that last line there, but that's, I guess it's not here though, right? Yeah, we saw that last time. Leave issues for things you want to see. I can do that. One thing to work out will be where is it going to be at. So like the editor right now is a library that is under Jeff's GitHub, but the code, I've already modified it a fair amount. So I think my code, okay, that's a weird thing, is that whenever you control N, it puts the new file input wherever you're at, rather than like top or the bottom or anything. Should we erase maybe? I don't actually have that kicker. It's past this. This gets called from here, so we can just pass it along. No problemo. Okay, so now we call erase and then input. So does that, I can't save. You'd think I would stop getting got by that, but nope. All right, it should be back by now. So close this, bam, bam, save. And do we need to go to writable or not? We do, yes, because otherwise we will not call new file. Okay, so we can hold the button, reset. New file, control N, bam. Oh, that is nice. Empty, I like that. Okay, so the new file, let's call this one what? AB underscore 774.txt. Enter, which gives us to here, so we can go amazing file, explanation point, bam, bam. How about we toss a couple extras, and then let's give it some new lines, put some more, and some hello action down there, one more for good luck, and then save it with a control X. Okay. There we go. That was AB774 right there. Bam. Ooh. 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 New lines don't work. Are they... Do they need dash N's or dash R's or something like that? It's AB77, but it's not actually refreshing. What? So like new lines in existing files work okay because boot out has new lines. If we go to boot out, it's got 3 lines. All right, I want to check on the PC side if that file has new lines. That refreshes the files. Then here. Yeah. Has no new lines, but I wonder if it has slash R's or anything. So can you like, if I edit a file and add new lines, do they stay or? This one has a lot of stuff already. The AA4, there we go. What about only one? Only one. Lander. X. It's AA4. No. Lost them there as well. Okay, so it's not specific to new files. So it's for row in buffer. Buffer. Buffer.split. So split takes a cursor, gets the row and column, gets the current line, inserts that to the call, inserts that after. Good luck. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. So basically, buffer is not showing up with new lines in it. Let's get another control button. Like, what if we just have control Q also, which is hex 11, as just like a key that I can use for troubleshooting. Elif k equals x 11 control Q print control Q print buffer. Can't save. Reset. Close this. Bam bam. Save it. Okay, I don't think we need to have it be in writable mode because it doesn't actually matter if we get to the point of actually writing the file, I don't think. Suspect we should be able to just use this. I do want to rerun it because I have no idea if that's going to be using the latest version or not. All right, let's say AA5. This doesn't have much in it. Oh, it crashed because I pressed arrow to the right. Index out of range, get item. Okay, I need to fix that, but I'm not going to do it instantly, right? I want to keep going on what we were doing, so I'm just going to restart. I won't push right on a file with nothing inside of it. But that's the thing to fix. Just go back to AA5. I was in AA5, I guess. Okay. Bunch of J's. 2 enters, bunch of T's. 2 more enters, bunch of L's. 1 more enter, hit him with the control Q. Length row? What is that from? We should turn that off. Insert. Those off. I can't save. I can save because I'm not in the only, right? Okay, so, but I don't need that version yet. Okay, so let's get back to here. Let's hit them with the control Q buffer object. Not very useful. Okay. Here's quick PCB idea, dual TFT feather wings where each device can edit the other. One acts as a backup for the other. Maybe that's just too much. Depends what you're doing. It's too much, I think, for my project at this point, but it'd be definitely be interesting. I don't know how you would link them. You'd have to come up with some scheme to, like, whenever a file gets edited on one, make the same change on the other or something. So we can't just print a buffer, huh? But we can loop it, I guess. We can bottom, we can get item, we can length, we can insert, we can split, we can delete. maybe we do this whole loop-de-loo there. CAN bus. There you go. That could work. Or yeah, or like kind of serial or something between them. See that? Okay. Let's go A4. Does end work? Does this keyboard even have an end? It's blue. Not work. Work in here? Does. Interesting. It's not giving me any key codes or anything when I do it on this keyboard, so. With the new version. There was randomly like an H cursor just chilling out here for a minute, which is a bit weird. You know what's weird is I can press right here and it doesn't bother it, but the empty file when you press right seems to break it. Hmm? So I don't get why. So when it prints, it's fine, but when it saves without new lines. That makes no sense, though. Or does write? If you call write with wait, we need new lines, don't we? Don't we need new lines? This doesn't have like an implicit new line, I don't think. So each time we call write, like our buffer is stored in lines, but each time we call write, we're just calling write again. I'm pretty sure we need a new line here. All right, and then in order to test that, we do need to be in writable mode. So back to there, push the button, push this button, flip this back over, put that back on, let go of this. Gotta figure, let's see. I hate when you go to print something, it says object flabbity flab. Yeah, the old memory ID or something useless like that. I mean, it's not useless, but it's not very useful typically when you see it, unless you're like firmware developing or something super low level. Gotta figure out how to get back into the list to print the list item. Okay, so let's see. All right, let's make a new one. Let's go Control N. Let's say A C underscore 34 because it is 434 dot. Oops, that's a comma. Dot text. Okay, and then in here we're gonna put just some stuff like that. Bam, bam, bam. Some of those. And with a couple of these ones like that. And then some of that one. And that. Oh my goodness, the V button is stuck down. Okay. Crisis averted. Let's try to stay away from the V button for now, I think. One more for good luck. And then Control X. This is AC34. Control X. Okay. That's what we're looking for right there. That is much better. Yeah, we need that new line. I think without that new line, those calls to f.write, they'll just keep writing on the same line. Because there's no, I mean, is there a write line maybe? Can you like Python write line? I don't know if that's a thing. Python write line? It's like print and print line in Java is a thing. And print line puts a new line at the end of the print for you. You can print to a file? I did not know this was a thing. This would be difficult for me to use though because I have overridden print. I probably shouldn't have done, but I did. Yeah, I don't know. I think just tacking the new line in is probably easier than any of that, but I did reset it while it was going, I guess, and now this stuff's gone. Let's refresh. All right. That's good. Control C it. All right, so making a new file, putting new lines in it, that's all good. Let's make sure editing an existing file by adding some new lines. Can I press left? Yeah, I can. It doesn't crash, but it doesn't go to the end. Can I press like down? I can press down, it doesn't crash, but it doesn't take me to the end. Okay, adding lines. So we have one space between and then one space after. Control X. This is AA4. Control X. AA4. Open it. Okay, yeah, one between and one after. Perfect. Yeah, that's lined up perfect. See how this is working now. This does kind of look like the beginning of Sublime type editor. As a GUI lover, I'm not a fan of Sublime, but for something like this, I'm perfectly okay with it. Yeah, very, very basic. Or if you've ever used Nano on like a Linux machine, it's pretty similar to Nano or Vim or Vi type thing, although Vim and Vi don't use the control button for doing other stuff as much as they use their own whole other mode thing, but all right, so we got creating files. Opening is working, saving is working correctly with the new lines now. We can go back and forth with Control C. Control X, we got our fallback on Control X for spitting to the console. Anybody think of anything else that's like really good nice to have that we haven't talked about yet. Like some of them I think are out of reach, like the line numbers. And undo, I think somebody mentioned undo before, which would be cool, but pretty hard. Consider Vi, Nano, Sublime, all kind of the same. I hear you, yeah. All terminal editors. Sublime, I think, is a GUI, is it? I think Sublime is a GUI. I don't actually, I've never used Sublime, though. I thought Sublime, isn't that what Scott uses? Or am I thinking of something else now? Yeah, I'm thinking of something else. It is, if it's the thing I'm thinking of, while it is a GUI, it's also a very basic text editor, so it may as well be a terminal, whatever it is. You need a page slider. So page up and down might work. But my problem is my page up and down are on this weird function stuff, which doesn't seem to work for me. What? Okay, no, that's not making a new one. Where is that coming from? Making cursor visible? There is code that looks like it's trying to handle page down. But there is not gonna be a visible like scroll bar that shows you how far down the page you are. That kind of thing probably won't happen. Not immediately, at least, because it would either, like, if it just existed in terminal.io.terminal, then we would be able to use it and see it. But with it not existing in terminal.io.terminal, it would be pretty hard to write the code to keep track of the scroll position and then like make a proportional looking thing somehow and put it on the display. It would end up covering up the text if it was too long of the rows as well, I think. Throw in a crazy one, you could do a diff compare. Then when you saved, you could also generate a patch file. Yeah. As a pie in the sky one, I like it as an idea, but it's another one that I probably will not be able to do for aiming for a project this week. Placing the cursor after the last character on the last line is typical, I think, when you first open it. That's a good question, actually. What does it do when I first open a file? This one put it at the beginning. Let's try, like, Nano. Nano I look at as kind of the closest one that I use regularly, at least, to what we're making. Nano AA0. It's got it at the beginning of that one as well, too. I think we'll stick with beginning, although I can see how end would be kind of convenient, truthfully, right? Let me X out of this. Does the page down work in here? Does, but it messes up the cursor. Okay, it's only messed up because it went too far down. Well, I don't know if that's the only reason, but it's one of the reasons at least. Page up, page down, they work, but the ones from the keyboard do not work for me. And they don't send a key press. Let's make sure. I thought I put a fallback that prints any key presses that we don't recognize. That double buffer, that would double the buffer, but I think it's going to save people from themselves, especially beginners. I'm all for it. Yeah, it would be cool. I think it's just beyond my means to get it done in less than a week. One thing I would say is like, as a project, this is a neat project for editing stuff on your device on the go and stuff like that. But also, I would say like it's tenuous at best. Don't like my recommendation would be don't put any files on here that this is your only and most important copy of. Anything you're writing on here, if it's important, you should probably be backing it up pretty much instantly elsewhere. Which I understand kind of defeats the purpose in a way, but I would also say, like, as a microcontroller, it's a, it could lose power at any time. The data could get corrupted by who knows what at any time. It's not a fully robust type of a thing for sure. So you need to quick edit your code file real fast. And it's a thing that's already backed up in a repo or whatever, like this is perfect for that. But if it's like writing a novel and storing your only copy and like going to be screwed if it gets deleted accidentally, then this is not the thing to use for that. Yeah. So I'm trying to look in where the keys are handled, but the keys that we don't recognize, basically. I thought it was printing them out if it found one that it didn't recognize. See, because this has key page down right here. Yeah, so it has unhandled. And it prints a bunch of stuff, but I am not seeing unhandled that thing. No, I don't know why I said that. I just thought it was funny. Would that use to editing the TOML file? Yeah, that'd be fine. I think that would be fine. Editing your TOML file, because like your TOML file, like it would be an inconvenience if it got deleted, but I presume it's not the only copy of any of your tokens or passwords or anything. Like if you just need a quick switch to a different Wi-Fi network or whatever, this gives you the option to be able to do that pretty easily. But yeah, I would just say anything that's like super critical, as always, it's like backup. It should be copied elsewhere. Could you hook it to GitHub? Not super easily, but yes. I mean, you are willing to do some work, so this device doesn't have Wi-Fi by default, so in order to get it into GitHub, you would need to either like make software that goes on your computer, and then when you plug it in, it copies the stuff from your device up to GitHub or whatever, or you would need to add like an airlift or something that could get this thing onto the internet so that it could try to push into GitHub or do something. One thing I'll point you to, I don't know if it's up to date right now exactly, but honestly, the solution, the tool for that is already a thing that exists also. It's just a higher level thing. This Blinka CLI is like, unfortunately, it's got a name that's like, makes it difficult to... because it's not related to Blinka, the other Blinka thing, but it's like Blinka CLI. This thing has a function. It's like command line tools that interact with your device, and it has one that's backup. So what I would say is, if you're super worried about the contents of your drives, what you can do is you could set it up to where anytime a new CircuitPython device connects to your computer, you could use this thing to like recognize it and take a backup of it and store it somewhere on your hard drive. And then if you wanted to from there, you could also push it into GitHub or wherever. And then that's like, it's totally separate from the whole file editor thing. It's just like backing up files that are on your device. That'd be easier, but it would require the keyboard trying to do the soft keyboard. Soft keyboard would be pretty tough with this project because the terminal takes up the entire screen. There's not really a great way to show the soft keyboard right now. So that would still be a little ways off, I think, to be able to do something like this with a soft keyboard. Now, like, if your thing is editable, you can have just a soft keyboard thing that, like, takes a password and saves it into there for you, not like a general edit any file and do anything like this is. Fairly straightforward. But you would have to, like, this code specifically wouldn't work for that. That would have to be its own thing. Yeah. So my thing is, it's under a function key, and so when I press the function key, we get nothing, and then when I press it's the down arrow key, we also get nothing. So it's supposed to be. I mean, it's not doing a down arrow. Okay, so it's not, like, it's registering different than just a normal down arrow. So, like, the function key is doing something, but it is not doing what page down is supposed to do. And I mean, this stuff is not running. We would notice it if it were, because that's basically what it looked like. You know, I wonder still how come sometimes these are strings? Where does that happen? Standard screen get key, I don't know. I wonder why sometimes these are like strings, but then other times they're just literal characters, and then other times they're just hex bytes. I don't know. You get support for non-QWERTY. So the soft keyboard supports any layout that you want. You just have to make a JSON file. You just have to make a JSON file with whatever layout you want. So it could be any keyboard layout, and it does support it. The code should. Text-based soft keyboard so that it works in the terminal. Yeah, so this one would not work in the terminal. The soft keyboard wouldn't. We need to integrate Nerodox keyboard layouts for that. It's just a beginning. Well, the soft keyboard, I think, is there. I don't think you would need keyboard layouts. You would just need, like, I don't think you would need Nerodox keyboard layouts, but what you would need is to build that JSON file that says, like, you know, this letter is here, and this letter is here, and this letter is here, and so on and so forth. But the library itself should support any, like, if you want a Dvorak or Colmac or whatever, it just needs a JSON file that defines it, basically. And I do think it would be different than those ones from Nerodox, although if we could reuse those, that would be pretty cool. Or if we could create a tool that, well, but those don't define, I don't think those define a physical, I don't think those define like a physical keyboard layout, though. Those define the keys that a keyboard in that language are able to send, but they don't know, like, a location or anything. Yeah, so it wouldn't quite work. We could probably find something that converts, like, maybe a picture or something, even. Oh, I may have made an incorrect assumption. I assumed he was asking about non-QWERTY with the soft keyboard. That was my assumption. If David was actually asking about non-QWERTY on the USB host keyboard, like the one that we have plugged in here that we're using, I do not know the answer to that one. But the soft keyboard one, it should work. It just needs a JSON file. This one, I don't know. My guess would be that it might just work, based on the fact that this one pretty much just worked, but I don't know what kind of magic went into making it actually work, so All right. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. We got new file. We got a bunch of stuff fixed. One thing that still does need to be fixed is if you press right on an empty file, I think you get an exception. Is that right? So this one didn't do it because it wasn't empty. Let's make a new one. Am I in read-only? I don't think I am. Let's go new. AD underscore 09 dot ext. So if I just press right, yeah, it crashes. That says index out of range, line 61, get item. That's editor? Editor. 1 says get item self lines in right, and 192 cursor.right buffer, 145 must be cursor.right probably, yeah, cursor buffer row call. I think dot down right, cursor dot right, window dot down, window dot horizontal scroll. One is right. .92, 145. Right, buffer. If call less than length, buffer self.row. So basically buffer is empty. Print len buffer. Can't save. There's some tricks. Not all keyboards have same physical setup, but for most part they're identical. Getting that knowledge to configure soft keyboard seems totally possible. Oh, I missed this first one, actually. Sorry, I read these all out of order. Physical keyboard sends a byte that's a key position near Doc's stuff in Windows, and they map that to a key based on your keyboard locals. So NearDoc's library knows about the position of letters on a physical keyboard. Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, if it knows a location, like an XY within the grid or something like that, then it could be possible to write some code that basically consumes one of the things from NearDoc's library and spits out a JSON that would work with soft keyboard. That should be possible if it does have that information in there. Should be pretty sweet, because then we would kind of instantly gain a bunch of layouts. Okay. So we want to press right in an empty file, which was AB8, is it empty? 89, which is empty. That's right. Not running the new code. It says index error is at 145. I don't think it got the newest file. I don't think that can be an index error, right? Length buffer, that can't really be an index error, can it? There we go. Length 0. Okay, so yeah, length is 0, and it tries to say if call less than length of buffer, then call plus 1. So that's moving to the right. And then, yeah. Let's just say else. No, it's not going to work with else. If length of buffer and, which is like implicitly greater than 0. So if we actually have data in the buffer, then we check if we can move to the right or not. And if we don't have any data in the buffer, then we won't have any rows, we won't have any columns, so nothing else should happen, I think. Knows the number reaches a position. de.json is what JetBlur was excited about. Nothing beats the QWERTY and all the umlaut. So I can also specify symbol font. Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, you can have symbol fonts as well, so you can do all kinds of crazy stuff too if you need. Yeah, you get a regular ASCII font, and then you can have a symbol font too. All right. 89. So right arrow key just does nothing. Perfect. Same thing for down arrow key. Nice. And if we do this, like we have some stuff, and then yeah, nice, 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 nice. Okay, delete all that. Nice. All right, so I'm just gonna say goodbye, folks. Have a, oops, I made it to caps lock accidentally. Have a good night. I'm in read-only mode, so I can't save, but what I'll do is I'll Control X, and that will print the content to here. Unable to save read-only mode. Content's nice. Goodbye, folks. Have a good night. Sweet. All right. And with that, I will bid you farewell. Thanks for hanging out, folks. I will be back on Saturday at the normal time, 10 a.m. Central Time for my stream. I hope you all have a good rest of your day and a good week and all that stuff. I will catch you next time. See ya. Looking forward to watching Future Tim again. Nice. Yeah, Future Tim, we'll see you later.